fair, no disparaging or negative campaigning against your opponent, and let us have a memorable afternoon today. Now, we only have two candidates, and we are going to start with Mr. Oteen Wright from Monroe College. Oh, one thing before I go. Each candidate is expected to have their cameras on during the debate, as well as any questions they may ask, and during the debate, as well as during the question and answer session. So we're going to start with Mr. Oteen Wright from Monroe College.
Am I being heard clearly?
Yes, you are, sir.
Perfect. Hello, good day, everyone. My name, as suggested, is Oteen Wright, a proud student of Monroe College, and I'm vying for the post of National General Secretary. Now, in the words of Henry Ford, he postulated that coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Those words resonate with me deeply because they reflect what student leadership should be about, not just the position, but the partnership, not just the voice, but the vision. Currently, I serve as the Student Council Public Relations Officer and Debating Society Vice President. These roles have helped me think bigger, act stronger, and serve better. Leadership for me is a responsibility rooted in respect, accountability, and action. So let me say this clearly. This is not a dege candidate. This is an actionable candidate. And please allow me to present my actionable plans. To begin with, I will strengthen communication between councils and stakeholders, monthly meetings with regional executives, and clear communicational protocols will ensure unity and consistency across our student bodies. Correspondingly, I will advocate for stronger student input in national school policies. Through forums, surveys, and roundtables, we will address issues such as mental health, nutritional health, and grooming policies. These efforts will produce recommendations directly submitted to Ministry of Education. Additionally, I will establish strong partnerships with ministries like Education, Health, National Security, Legal, and Constitutional Affairs. These collaborations will support initiatives in mental health, violence prevention, and constitutional awareness. Moreover, I will create a student voice hub, an accessible platform for students to express concerns anonymously. This will be supported by monthly newsletters to keep everyone informed. Ultimately, I will champion representation for students with disabilities by launching awareness campaigns and workshops in collaboration with the Ministries of Education and Health. This is more than a campaign, it's a movement. So remember, we're catching minutes, not silence. Your vote is your power, and your power is your voice. So vote right for your choice.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Wright. Now we slide across to St. Catherine, where we will hear from Mr. Shakwan White from Charlemont High School.
Thank you, Mr. Ricketts. Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, sir.
And
Loud
you
and
are
clear.
seeing me. You are seeing
Yes,
me.
sir.
Okay, I will start in 3, 2, 1. Action is what I stand for. Action is what you need. Good evening, fellow students, moderator, and council members. I'm Shaquan White, your outgoing Region 6 Vice President, and this evening, I'm asking for your vote to become the next General Secretary of the National Secondary Student Council. No, I'm not here to make big, fancy promises. I'm here to help make your time in school count for it, to be meaningful, impactful, and something you'll actually be proud to look on. My vision is built on three simple things: transparency, collaboration, and real action. First, real communication and real engagement. You deserve to know what's going on, not through gossip or guessing, but directly. That's why I'm rolling out the Student Voice Communication Network, a platform to connect student leaders from different schools, share real-time updates, and make sure we're all on the same page. It's not about it's about giving you clarity, not confusion. Unity, not division. Second, facing the real issues head on. Late buses, broken bathrooms, unfair detentions. These might seem like small things to outsiders, but for us, they shape how we experience school every single day. I get that. That's why I'm introducing the Student Advocacy Action Plan. By teaming up with groups like the NYCJ and working closely with principals and student reps, we'll take your problems seriously and act on them. We won't ignore what matters to you. Third, we need a culture that listens. Too often, systems are built for students, not with the students. That changes with the student voice feedback loop. Monthly check-ins, surveys that don't just get filed away, actual responses, real results, because it's time we stop asking students to speak up and start making sure they're heard when they do. Fourth, events that actually build us up. We've all been to the events that felt like just another task on someone's checklist. That's not what we need. We need forums that open minds, quizzes that make learning fun, workshops that build skills, and I am committed to working with the incoming president and PRO to make sure those events are not just exciting, but also affordable and accessible to all students. Fifth, advocacy that's visible and strong. I believe that leadership means showing up, not just for the big moments, but for the everyday issues. Uniform guidelines, suspension policies, rules that don't make sense. These are things that impact students directly. You can count on me to be a strong voice, not just behind a desk, but on the ground with you, making sure our concerns don't get buried in silence. And sixth, respect and representation for every student. Whether your school is big or small, whether they're loud and bold or quiet and observant, you matter. You, the student, matter. And in this council, you deserve to feel that. Through tools like the feedback loop, we're going to make sure everyone is seen, everyone is heard, and everyone has a say. My manifesto highlights it all. So here's my closing message to you. This isn't just a position, it's a platform, a chance to serve you, stand with you, and help lead this moment where students lead, students shape, and students rise. I'm not going to promise to fix everything overnight. That's just impossible. But I will promise this: I'll listen, I'll act, I'll show up, I'll fight for your voice and make sure it's heard clearly and confidently at every level. So if you're ready for a general secretary who works with heart, with purpose, and with you at the center of it all, then vote Shaquan White, the leader that you can trust, action you can see. Remember, action is what I strive for. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. White. And what I strive for now is some questions from our audience. So, Ms. Smith, can you look in the chat and see if there are any questions? Or if you want to open your mic and ask any, feel free to do so.
All right, so we have some raised hands here. We will start with Malik Walker and then Craig Lewis.
Good afternoon again. My name is Malik Walker. I'm currently the student council president for Spanish Town High School. So my question goes to: action is not what he strived for, and also he he don't make big empty promises. So my question is, a lot of students say the council make promises every year, but nothing really changes. As the general PRO, how will you make sure your words turn into action, and how will you prove that to the student council body?
The position is actually GenSec, Mr. Walker.
It's actually just
Oh,
I would
Yeah, but he still can answer. You can go ahead,
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
White.
I wanted him to repeat the question.
Well, essentially,
As
what he's asking, what he's saying is that a lot of times people make a lot of promises, but how can he be guaranteed that you are the real deal and whatever you say that you're going to do will actually materialize?
Well, I'm a man of my, to be honest, words don't count if there's no action. I'm going to be honest with you. When I am going to strive for something that's going to be impactful for all the students, it's going to be done. And I can confirm that. I have put in all the work as Region 6 VP, and the results talk for themselves. I have established initiatives, work with a lot of persons who were beside me during that process to make sure that what you wanted was accomplished. So, even though some persons don't want to take my word for it, I will show you the action. I will show you, to be honest, if I do not meet that action, you can call me out for that. You can call me out and say, Mr. White, you have not made that action, and I will take it. I will take full accountability for that. But I am certain I am the right candidate who strives for action, not for words, not for empty promises. Okay? So take my word for it, based on what I have done in the past and based on what I have already distributed to you.
Well,
All
good
right.
afternoon, everyone again. Sorry for my previous logout, my internet dropped. Now, my response to that question, in as much as how we would actually want to compare, comparance is the theory of joy. And right,
Mr. Right. Apparently, he's having some internet difficulties.
can everyone hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
My apologies. So as I was saying, in as much as I would like to compare, it's not supposed to be done when new candidates are selected. And we can be taken into consideration accountability. So whatever we have on our manifesto, we should be held accountable for that. And to be honest, as a secretary, as a prospective general secretary, it would be definitely, utmost definite within my jurisdiction to ensure that all schools from different regions, local councils, are amalgamated to whatever medium I'm going to use, and to try and create that level of accountability with my regional execs.
All right. Mr. Lewis, can open your mic and ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Craig Lewis, Region 6 Secretary PRO candidate. My question to both of you is, how do you plan to maintain consistency throughout all regions? Meaning, how do you plan to work with your Region 6 Secretary PROs? Your Regional Secretary PROs, sorry.
We'll begin with Mr. White, given that Mr. White would have answered last a while ago. So, Mr. White, you can go ahead.
All right, so you said how would I maintain consistency with secretary PROs, right? That's what you
Yes, sir,
said?
from all the 7 regions. That's what he's asking.
Okay. As I already established in my speech, multi-interregional forums, right? Because I've seen it in the past. It did not work out. When the messages were going out, they went out like in a way that was not understand it to us, right? There wasn't any clarity. We were just left to figure out what is being said, right? And that's why I want to launch my day one initiative, which is going to be Friendly Friday check boxes. That means that I would be partnering with the PRO and even the president, to be honest, the incoming president, to make sure that I establish that so that that consistency for communication remains. Remember, because I do not want the communication to die, because if communication dies, you will be left in the dark. You won't know what to do, and then I will be held accountable for that. Okay, so that would be the day one initiative as I go into being your general secretary for the 2025-2026 year.
All right, Mr. Wright.
So my response to that question is that every tree has roots and every building has a foundation. So my actual initiative would be to contact these local councils actually and try to amalgamate them as much as possible. Because as Shakwan said, I will have to piggyback to that. Without communication, there's absolutely no networking, and that's not good enough. Local councils, they are the essence. They are the reason why we are actually vying for these positions right now. And so it would be absolutely absurd to really create something without them. And so for us to actually just take into consideration the foundation, we should and we must incorporate them. Now, I have said that I would actually use monthly meetings with my regional execs and clear communication protocols. And this can be done through various media such as WhatsApp, Google Meets, Google Docs, where it's possible online. And for those schools that I really can't even get to, I would try and see if I could make a physical appearance to those schools to try and find out the issue so that consistent communication and networking is fostered.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis. I hope your question was answered sufficiently. Any other questions, any other comments from the chat, Ms. McLaughlin?
Shane Hall has his hand up. Mr. Hall, did you ask a question already?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, Miss. My question is, oh, my apologies. I've been introducing myself too much. Hello again. My name is O'Shane D. Hall, presidential candidate for NSSC. My question is geared to both candidates. The truth is, the General Secretary is one of the hardest positions in NSSC. How will you ensure you strike balance? Because really and truly, you're the person writing the letters, this, that, and the third. How will you strike balance with your academics as well as with other leadership roles? Because let's be honest, we're not only serving in NSSC, but in other positions. So how will you keep balance across all boards with your personal life, academics, and NSSC as a General Secretary?
And to start with Mr. White.
Hope
Mr. White?
everybody, yes, I hope everybody still, I hope everybody still see me.
You can go ahead, Mr. White.
All right. First and foremost, wonderful question, Mr. Hall. I have to be honest, there are a lot of factors that I have in place. Time management and scheduling, setting priorities and delegation and teamwork. So let me go into all those three first. So I don't want to seem like the one just talking. Look, I depend on using my own or establishing my own digital calendar. Right. That calendar would have my assignments, my meetings, my personal studies aside from my duties of being general secretary. Because as you mentioned, it is something that I have to take into consideration, how to prioritize my academics, the works I do, and also the works I do for National Secondary Student Council. So And then now we have setting priorities. Let's face it, we have to set something that is, we have to prioritize something over something. And that's real, and that's be honest. My academics would have come first, then my work. I know how, and to be honest, I can't say that I faced challenge. I had faced challenges when I was and during my role as Region 6 Vice President. However, I found a way to maneuver through that and set my own schedule that has been working for me for the last couple of months since my tenure in the National Secondary Student Council, and also delegation and teamwork. I have worked with so much persons who have meant so much to me, like my secretary, PRO, Brianna Smith, right? She has been there, the backbone during my time where I could not be in help during that time to do that work. So when I have my PRO, my president, or hopefully my treasurer, they can be my backbone to maybe not do the work I do, but to give me motivation and to show me the way forward through collaboration. So through collaboration and teamwork and even delegating, right? I think I believe and I know I will strive for to prioritize academics over the work.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, actually, I always tell people that I'm human first in any occasion, and then a student leader. So, of course, there will be times where I have things that are clashing, and it's up to most which one I'm going to prioritize based on timing. But I always try to use timetables and prioritization as a mean to actually get the work done. So I'm literally not putting myself in a situation where a task is being assigned to me and I'm not getting it done. I will get it done. And no man is an island per se. So definitely I will definitely ask help from my secretariat, and fellow PRO too, and occasional cases where I can definitely say I'm being filled with a lot of work and I can't get to do this. But for for this for this I definitely think it takes effort, practice, and practice.
Thank you very much, candidates. Any other questions? Please don't all shout at once. Nothing, Miss McLaughlin? No other questions?
Craig Lewis, is that a legacy hand or you have another question?
No, I don't have another question, miss.
Okay, I'm not
Alright,
seeing any
so-
questions in the chat. I'm not seeing any other hands raised.
Mhm.
Once again, delegates, do you have any other questions for your General Secretary candidates?
Alright, apparently there is no other questions. So gentlemen, thank you very much for being good candidates. You both did well. And I will encourage you to continue to keep the elections clean, no negative comments, no disparaging remarks, because at the end of the day, we are humans, as we've said before, and we will still be friends after the election process. So we'll find out who the people will vote for, who is the right choice, who is the bigger deal. And with that said, we turn over to Ms. McLaughlin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ricketts. Thank you very much, candidates, Mr. White and Wright. So once again, candidates, please be mindful during this campaigning period, which ends on Sunday evening. The polls open on Monday. Please bear in mind that you are being watched by the delegates by the other candidates to keep it respectful and keep it fair. So I just want to wish you all the very best. And we resume at 5 for the presidential live debates. So feel free to rejoin at 5 p.m. or you can stay online if you so choose. Mr. Ricketts, thank you so very much for able to taking us through this segment of the live debates for the General Secretary candidates for the National Secondary Students Council 2025 elections.
You're most welcome.